All right, let's just jump right in. We've all been there, right? You're trapped in a meeting, it seems to have no end, no point, and you're just watching the clock tick down slower than you ever thought possible. Well, today we're going to build a survival guide, or you know what, even better, a guide to making meetings not just bearable, but actually useful.
I mean, come on, this cartoon, it hits a little too close to home for a lot of us, doesn't it? The whole idea is so universal, it's basically a running joke in every office. But the lost time, the lost productivity, that's really no joke at all.
I'm willing to bet it does. That feeling of your soul just kind of slowly leaving your body as someone drones on and on about something that absolutely could have been an email. It's like a modern workplace epidemic. So let's start by actually diagnosing the problem here. Why does this happen? Why do so many of us feel that sense of dread every single time a meeting invitation pops up in our inbox? This right here, this is the #1 symptom. You know the one, the unstructured, aimless get-together that just steals an hour of your day and leaves you with nothing but this vague sense of frustration. But here's the thing I want you to remember. It really doesn't have to be this way.
Let's try to reframe this a little. Meetings themselves aren't the enemy. Bad meetings are. A well-run meeting is actually one of the most powerful tools a team can have. The whole secret is just understanding what its true purpose is.
Let's go all the way back to basics. Just look at those key words: scheduled, structured, guided. See, this isn't supposed to be just a random chat. It's a deliberate, focused event. The moment we lose sight of this definition, that's when we end up in the land of pointless meetings. So what are they actually for? Well, they're for the big stuff. Things like deciding on future strategy, solving really complex problems, and evaluating critical information together, as a group. A good meeting is where the team's collective brainpower comes together to do things you just can't do alone over email. This is the perfect way to think about it. I love this. A great meeting isn't just an event. It's a journey. It takes you from point A, say a problem or a question, all the way to point B, a decision or a solution. And just like any journey, it absolutely needs a plan. And that brings us to the first really crucial stage. A great meeting doesn't start when people walk into the room. Nope, it starts long before that. This is the planning phase. This is the part where you actually draw the map for your journey. Think about it. You wouldn't set sail across the ocean without checking the weather and charting a course, would you? Of course not. The exact same principle applies here. The success or failure of your meeting is pretty much decided before it even begins. And these are your essential navigational tools. The notice, that's the call to adventure. It tells the crew where and when the journey kicks off. The agenda, that's your map, showing every single stop and, most importantly, the final destination. And the minutes, which we'll get to in a bit, that's the ship's log, recording everything that happened along the way. Okay, so here's the most crucial point. The agenda is everything. Seriously, it's not just a list of topics. It's a contract. It tells everybody what to expect, how to prepare, and it keeps the conversation on track. It is the single best defense against a meeting that goes completely off the rails. It's how you know if you've actually reached your destination. Okay, so you've planned your journey, you've drawn your map, now it's time to actually pilot the ship. This is all about what happens during the meeting itself to keep everything on course. You know, a good crew always knows their roles. And this table breaks it down perfectly. The secretary, or whoever is taking notes, they handle the logistics and the documentation, the ship's records. And the participants? Your job isn't just to show up. It's to prepare, to engage, and then to follow through on what was decided. Everyone has a responsibility to make the journey a success. Now, for the captain, the person running the meeting, this is your commands checklist. Begin on time. That respects everyone's time. Delegate the minutes so you can focus on guiding the discussion. Sticking to the agenda, that's non-negotiable. And facilitating means you're not just presenting, you're making sure all voices are heard and that the conversation is always moving forward until you provide a clear, decisive landing. So, you've reached your destination. The meeting's over. But the journey's value is only realized in what happens next. The follow-up is what turns all that talk into real action. So, how do you make sure the journey actually mattered? Well, first, you evaluate. Did we accomplish our goal? Second, you get those minutes out, the official record of what was decided and who was doing what. And third, you monitor the tasks. This is what makes sure that the agreements made in the room translate into actual progress in the real world. Let's bring it all the way back to our ship's log. The minutes are your proof.
They are the clear, concise, accurate record that says, here's where we went, here's what we decided, and here's who is doing what next. Without this, the journey might as well have never even happened.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Pull up your calendar right now. Seriously, look at your very next meeting. Can you honestly say you know its purpose? Do you have an agenda, a map? If the answer is no, you now have the blueprint to change that. Whether you're running it or just attending, you can be the person who asks, hey, what's our goal here? And turns a pointless meeting into a successful journey.